Hey, we have a rendition from Sydney. John, Margaret's brother-in-law. One and only brother-in-law.
That's it, yeah. Some of you might remember, I think I was here for Roger's 75th and did exactly the same song, but in a different key. If you've got a memory like me, you'll have forgotten. Okay. This is the strains of Daisy, Daisy. Margaret, Margaret, 80 years old today. Oh, what an achievement, that's what we all say. Roger made it before you, but the family sticks like glue. The pair of you are a welcome to as we celebrate Margaret's Day. Margaret, Margaret, many happy returns. You've turned 80 and don't have a lot of concerns. There's always been the family, Philly, Wayne and Harry. I mean, they love you, and we do too, as you head for your century. Margaret, Margaret, this is your happy day. We're here with you, but getting too old to play. Your sister Jeanette loves you dearly, as you heard before, all you guys. Her thoughts exhibited clearly, and you look good as we knew you would. We're up to as we celebrate as we should. Not much more to go. 16 verses. Keep on keeping, 'cause this is the thing to do. We're all happy to be here, all because of you. You've been an extraordinary mother and also a wonderful wife. So it's all great and we can't wait to cut the birthday cake tonight. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday
To you, happy birthday, dear Margaret. Happy birthday to you.
song, and then we're going to cut the cake, and then we're all going to sing a couple of Christmas carols, and Linda's going to join us. Isn't that right?
It just doesn't know it yet.
So, is anyone else prepared? Yep, great, thanks John. There's John Eldridge from the church.
Thanks.
Thanks John.
I think it's fitting that we have a word from one of the church members, so I'm pleased to do that. Just by way of a little recollection, and I've known Margaret and Roger for 37 years as members of this church, and my recollection is from about 28 years ago when the church building here was being extended, and the church members did a lot of work placing bluestone pictures as the curbing for the new car park, and we did all the landscaping ourselves. And Roger and Margaret were very involved in that. And with the bluestone picture curbing, the idea was to lay the bluestones on a bed of wet concrete and to leave about a 2 or 3 centimetre gap between them, and then afterwards another part of the team would come along and they'd fill that gap with concrete and finally put a little a top coating of coloured mortar on it. And Roger and Margaret were involved in that. Margaret was right into it, and I was sort of walking around the site at one stage. I must have been a self-appointed supervisor, I think. And I thought, oh, these joints between bluestone pitches, they're just fantastic. I wonder who's done these. And I walked along a bit further, and there are Roger and Margaret doing it. And it was a really first-class job, beautifully shaped and smoothed, with the mortar over the top. And I was looking closely, and the guys who were doing that sort of job would have used a pointing trowel, but there's Margaret doing her smoothing off with a nice knife. I don't think it was the silverware, but stainless steel. And, but you were really applying your best decorating, cake decorating. It was just fantastic. I was most impressed with Margaret's practicality and her resourcefulness in the way she went about it. And if anyone would like to actually inspect Margaret's work, you can look at the bluestones around the forecourt out there later on, and you'll see what I'm on about. Fantastic, Margaret. Good on you.
I'd like to add a tribute.
This is Val Anderson, Mum's best friend from the church.
We're partners in crime in many ways among the church group and the Margaret. We started together, I've got to use the glasses, sorry I broke them. I'm just 6 months behind Margaret in age, you see, so I get a few licenses. This is from the Waverley Gazette in July 1981. That's gone back a bit, you mathematicians can work that out. And I've got a photograph I'll hand round, and it's when we started the Good Neighbour Club. This Good Neighbour Club has been going since then to next Wednesday. We're having our Christmas party again. We meet every Wednesday. Rain, hail, shine, and no matter what's happening, it comes first in Margaret in our lives. And we took people in, and this will explain that we actually started bringing Meals and Wheels to us instead of us going to them. We delivered them for years and years around the suburbs, hadn't we? And we thought, this is silly, all these lonely people are sitting in here, needing company. We'll bring them to the church. And they actually served the Meals and Wheels from Waverley here to us. And we got sick of waiting for them turning up. We couldn't get on with our day because we're waiting for the meals, so we told them not to bother coming. And people brought their own lunches, or we'd go over to the shop and buy them pies and fish and chips, which is not on their diet, but there we are. So we've made many friends and a lot of friendships over the years with the people on the community who are isolated and alone. And it still goes on today. And I want to thank Margaret for being my lieutenant during all this time. And there's some information here. A photograph of Margaret serving the first meal. Margaret, that was Betty Hagg. Yes. Well, neither of us can remember dear Betty. I'm quite sure she was dead a long time because you were about 29 there. And this was us giving out the soup, but we had lots of fun and friendship through this group. And thank you for being my partner in crime, Margaret. That's all right.
Okay, is there anyone else got anything that they have prepared? Okay. All right. I have a little song. Have a little hiccup with the music, so we'll just see how it goes. There'll be a little instrumental bit. There's no words.
Look at that interval.
What did you?
Is it on, Roger?
No.
I wanted to tell you this joke about
For the church, for the church.
it's not the one I thought it was going to be. It's about the Australian and the American who are they're having a couple of beers in the pub, and the American says to the Australian guy, "What do you do for a quid?" And the Aussie said, "I'm a professional liar." So they've had a few more beers, and the American says, "How do you make money out of being a professional liar?" And the Australian says, "Well, you know, we put some money on the bar, and the one who tells the biggest lie wins the money." So the Yank thought this is a pretty good idea, and he thought to himself, "Okay, so there's 400 on the bar, 200 each, you know." And the Australian says to the Yank, as Australians do, he said, "You go first, sir." So the American said, "Have you heard of the Niagara River?" And the Australian said, "Yes." And the Yank said, "Well, they swam right down the Niagara River, over the falls, round the bottom, and right back up the top again." And the Aussie grabbed the money. And the Yank says, "Hang on, you haven't told your story yet." And the Aussie said, "I saw you do it."